chosen one. Hear me now. Not as a distant voice, but as one who stands close, leaning in with urgency, because what I am about to declare touches the very core of your destiny. There is a stirring in your spirit that cannot be ignored, a subtle yet undeniable movement in the unseen realms that has already begun to shift the course of your life. You have felt it, haven't you? That faint pressure, that invisible tug, that quiet whisper in moments of solitude, reminding you that your story is far greater than you have imagined. For too long, seasons of waiting have stretched across your life like endless nights, and you may have questioned why doors remained closed, why promises seemed delayed, why the pieces of your life felt scattered or lost. But listen carefully. Every delay, every silence, every moment where hope seemed distant has been a setup for what is now arriving. God Himself is orchestrating a restoration, returning what was lost, mending what was broken, and aligning what was scattered according to His divine purpose. This is not a general message. It is specific, personal, for you. You are not merely a bystander in the currents of destiny. You are a chosen participant in a divine orchestration. The treasures of your heart, the moments stolen by doubt, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers, the blessings that seemed deferred, God is returning them. And not only returning them, but elevating them beyond what you could have imagined. You may wonder how this will come or when it will arrive. Perhaps you have felt impatience, frustration, even fear that the wait might never end. But now the atmosphere of your life is shifting. A new season is rising. Something long hidden is beginning to appear. What you have lost, whether it is peace, purpose, relationships, or divine favor, is being restored. And this restoration is precise, sacred, and unmistakably yours. As you sit here listening to these words, allow your spirit to recognize the truth. The current stillness around you is not emptiness, it is preparation. The silence you endured was not absence, it was divine positioning. And the restoration coming is not random, it is appointed. Keep your heart open. Lean into the stirring inside. Guard the faith that has carried you through storms. For the moment is at hand, when the unseen will become seen, when the scattered pieces will return, and when the fullness of God's faithfulness will be undeniably, irrevocably yours. Can you feel it? That gentle but undeniable nudge in your spirit? The quiet pressure that seems to draw your attention to something greater than yourself? That is not coincidence. That is God reaching across the veil of time and circumstance, touching your life with the certainty of His presence. Every detail of your journey, every tear, every unanswered question has been seen. Every moment of doubt, every hour of waiting has been weighed in His hands. Nothing has been overlooked. The one who holds the stars in place, who speaks to the winds and calms storms with a word, is now speaking to you. Not in grand proclamations that the world can hear, but in intimate whispers designed to pierce the chambers of your heart. The God who knows every hidden corner of your soul, who has watched you silently endure, has been preparing this moment for a long time. His timing is perfect. His plan is flawless. His restoration is intentional. This is why you feel the pull, the stirring, the sudden sense that something monumental is shifting. It is the alignment of divine purpose with human faith. You are not being left to chance or circumstance. Heaven itself has leaned in, and the currents of your life are now responding. Doors that seemed locked are beginning to tremble. The air around you carries a fragrance of new beginnings. Angels stand ready, stationed in unseen places, waiting for the exact moment to deliver the fullness of what has been promised to you. Do not mistake the subtlety of this movement for insignificance. God does not always shout. Often He works quietly, weaving intricate patterns that the human eye cannot yet discern. He measures each season, calculates every step, and positions every person, place, and opportunity with precision. What feels small, what seems hidden, is often the very vessel through which your greatest breakthroughs will flow. The restoration that is coming is not just about returning what was lost. It is about bringing your life into alignment with His vision, elevating you to a place of clarity, purpose, and influence that has been waiting for this exact moment. What was once stolen, delayed, or broken will not simply return. It will return perfected, refined, and empowered. Let this sink in. The God who authored the cosmos, who calls light from darkness, who turns deserts into gardens, is the same God who knows the exact weight of your heart, the precise desires of your soul, and the timing of your path. Trust Him. Lean into Him. The restoration you have been waiting for is not an accident. It is a declaration of His love, a testament to His faithfulness, and a confirmation that every trial you endured was never in vain. Keep your spirit attentive. Keep your heart expectant. The one who orchestrates all things is now directing the stage of your life. What comes next is not a fleeting blessing. It is the fulfillment of a divine promise. And now the moment you have been sensing this shift you have been feeling beneath the surface of your life, it is arriving. Something long hidden, long withheld, is being restored. Imagine a river once dammed by the circumstances of delay, suddenly breaking free, rushing over rocks and fallen branches, unstoppable in its course. That is what is happening in your life. What has been delayed is not forgotten. What has been broken is not abandoned. What has been taken is not lost forever. You may not yet see it with your natural eyes, but the spiritual currents are already in motion. Doors that once slammed shut in your face are beginning to creak open, illuminated by a light that feels almost too bright to look at directly. Opportunities that seemed far away, invisible even, are drawing near. And with them, the restoration of what was lost: relationships, peace, favor, purpose, and promise, will not return as it was, but as it was always meant to be: elevated, refined, and sanctified. Picture the things you have held on to with trembling hands, the dreams you whispered into the night, the prayers you thought unheard. God is gathering them, placing them back into your life with precision as an artist arranges colors on a canvas. Every lost moment, every tear shed in private, every night of doubt, it all converges now in a pattern of divine restoration. And the beauty of it is this: no one else could have orchestrated it. Only God could reconcile the broken pieces in such a way that their return surpasses what was even imagined. But be aware, this restoration is not always loud, and it is not always immediate. It may begin with subtle shifts, a conversation that changes the direction of a relationship, a sudden clarity in a decision you have struggled with for months, an unexpected favor or opportunity that appears at the exact moment you need it most. These are the fingerprints of heaven marking the pathway of what is being returned. They are both confirmation and invitation, signaling that the orchestration of your life is moving into a new season. You may feel a stirring in your body, a tension in your spirit, a quiet sense that something cannot be contained. That is the anticipation of what is about to be revealed. Like a dawn that slowly lights the horizon, the promise of restoration begins to glow, first in subtle shades, then in brilliance. You are about to witness the return of what was stolen from your heart. But it will come in a way that exceeds the memory of loss. What you thought was missing will return multiplied, refined, and positioned for impact. Understand this: the restoration is not just material or external. It is spiritual, emotional, and divine in nature. God is not simply returning what was taken. He is restoring your strength, your vision, your faith, and your identity. He is aligning every circumstance so that the return of what was lost serves a greater purpose than before. You are being prepared to receive it fully, with gratitude, with discernment, and with recognition of the sacredness of what is being entrusted back to you. So as you feel this shift, as the air of your life begins to tremble with possibility, lean into it. Stand firm in faith, for the spiritual landscape around you is rearranging. The restoration that comes is not random, it is personal. It is precise. It is yours, marked with the seal of divine timing and the certainty of God's unchanging promise. What is happening in your life now is not random. It is not coincidence. What is returning, what is being restored, carries far deeper meaning than the mere reappearance of lost things. Every loss you experienced, every delay that tested your patience, every moment of confusion was a thread in a tapestry. Only God could weave a tapestry that reveals not just restoration, but transformation. Think of your life as a forest in the heart of winter. The trees appear bare, stripped of leaves, the ground covered with fallen branches, the sky gray and unyielding. To the casual observer, nothing seems alive. Yet beneath the surface, life is moving. Roots are strengthening. Water flows quietly beneath frozen soil. Seeds buried and unseen are germinating, preparing for the season when the frost melts. Your hidden season has been just like this. What seemed barren was being prepared for abundance. What seemed lost was being held, cultivated, and refined. This restoration is a divine invitation to understand the rhythms of God's timing. Restoration is not always immediate, but it is precise. It teaches you patience, it cultivates faith, and it deepens the understanding that God's ways are higher than yours. You may have sought shortcuts, tried to reclaim what was lost on your own, only to find resistance at every turn. That resistance was not punishment. It was a divine boundary, a safeguard to ensure that when what is restored arrives, it comes at the perfect moment, in the perfect measure, and in perfect alignment with your destiny. There is a spiritual principle here. Nothing lost in God's economy is truly gone. Everything that departs your life, every door that closes, every moment of separation serves a higher purpose. Sometimes what is taken is a preparation, a purification, a reorientation. Like gold in fire, you have been refined in the furnace of waiting. And now as the fire cools, the gold shines brighter, more brilliant than before. What is returning is not just a replacement, it is a better version, more aligned with the divine blueprint. The restoration also carries a moral and spiritual weight. It is a reminder that faithfulness in the unseen matters. Every act of integrity, every prayer uttered in quiet, every moment you held fast to hope was not wasted. The universe itself bends toward justice, toward alignment, toward the fulfillment of divine promises. You are a participant in this sacred dance, not a passive bystander. The spiritual meaning of this restoration is that your obedience, your perseverance, your faith, even in the darkest seasons, has been noticed, recorded, and will be rewarded in ways that transcend the material. Consider the storms you endured, the doors that seemed locked, the betrayals that cut deep. Each was a sculptor's tool, shaping resilience, wisdom, and discernment. The restoration you are about to witness is both a reward and a completion. It is a bridge between the trials of the past and the glory of what is to come. The light that accompanies restoration is never just illumination, it is revelation. You will see the patterns, understand the hidden purposes, and recognize the threads that connected every moment of hardship to this current season of abundance. Every metaphor matters, the river that returns the seed that grows unseen. The gold refined in fire, these are not just images. They are spiritual truths. You have been placed in a season that demanded faith, endurance, and patience. The lessons embedded in your waiting, your silence, your solitude are preparing you to receive not only what was lost, but what has been waiting for you beyond the horizon of your imagination. And so the spiritual depth of this moment asks you to rise above mere expectation. It calls for gratitude, discernment, and clarity. It asks you to recognize that the restoration is as much about internal transformation as it is about external return. Your spirit is being tuned to resonance with the divine, Your heart is being aligned with purpose, and your life is being positioned to manifest the fullness of what heaven has always intended. Embrace this season with understanding. Recognize that the storms, the silence and the waiting were part of a sacred curriculum. Your faith tested and refined is the conduit for the return of all that was lost. The unseen is becoming seen. The hidden is becoming revealed. And the life you once imagined, the life that seemed temporarily deferred, is approaching with unstoppable momentum. As you move deeper into this season, there are signs already appearing. Subtle, almost imperceptible, but unmistakably divine. They are the markers of what is being restored. The whispers of heaven affirming that what has been promised is on its way. Pay attention, for these signs are both personal and universal, tailored to the rhythm of your life. First, you may notice a sense of inner peace, even amidst external chaos. Moments that once triggered anxiety now pass with an unusual calm. This is not coincidence. It is a sign that the spiritual foundations of your life are shifting. Your heart is being prepared to receive restoration, and God is affirming it with tranquility that surpasses understanding. Second, look for sudden clarity. Decisions that once felt clouded now appear with unmistakable direction. Paths that were once blocked or confusing begin to open. These moments of insight are spiritual confirmations, small yet powerful signaling that divine timing is orchestrating your next steps. Third, watch for repeated symbols or synchronicities. Perhaps a number keeps appearing, a song resonates at the exact moment, or a word or phrase keeps crossing your path. These are God's fingerprints on your journey, reminders that nothing in your life is random and that restoration is unfolding according to His plan. Fourth, notice shifts in relationships. Those who were distant may reappear at just the right time. Connections that seemed severed may realign, bringing opportunities for reconciliation, support, or divine partnership. God often uses people as instruments of restoration, weaving lives together in perfect timing. Fifth, a growing sense of confidence may emerge. You may feel a quiet assurance that the battles you fought were not in vain, that the waiting was purposeful, and that the restoration is not only coming, but is inevitable. This confidence is a spiritual echo of the work being done unseen, reinforcing faith before the full manifestation occurs. Finally, you may sense unusual favor in small things, doors opening unexpectedly. Opportunities presenting themselves when least expected, blessings appearing in ways that feel almost miraculous. These are tangible confirmations, a gentle nudge from heaven that the restoration is in motion. Each sign, no matter how subtle, is a reminder that your journey is being watched and guided. Take note of these markers, write them down, speak them aloud, and allow your spirit to recognize the truth within them. The presence of these signs is not merely symbolic. They are the soft hands of God, preparing your heart and guiding your steps. Pay attention, for the signs are all around you. They are evidence that your restoration is near, that what was lost is returning, and that your life is aligning with the divine orchestration. Recognize them. Receive them. Let them strengthen your faith as you move forward into the fullness of what has been prepared for you. Even as the signs of restoration appear, know this: the journey will not be without its trials. God's work is often accompanied by tests, moments of tension, and challenges that feel heavy or unexpected. These are not punishments, nor are they signs of failure. They are part of the refining process, the final shaping of your spirit and your life before what has been promised is fully revealed. You may encounter resistance from those who do not understand your path, from circumstances that seem to conspire against your progress, or from internal doubts that arise despite the signs around you. These hidden challenges are spiritual checkpoints designed to ensure that your faith is anchored in truth and not in mere desire or convenience. Sometimes the obstacles will feel like delays, as if what you are waiting for has stalled again. Other times they will feel like opposition, pushing you to question whether the restoration is real. Yet every test has a purpose. It strengthens endurance, sharpens discernment, and deepens your understanding of your own resilience. The enemy often shows up to create confusion. But the faithful heart recognizes that every struggle is temporary. Every storm is a prelude to the calm, and every difficulty carries within it a hidden blessing. Be prepared for moments of solitude or misunderstanding. You may find that those closest to you do not see the unfolding plan, and that some relationships or situations must shift before the fullness of your restoration can arrive. These moments are not rejections, they are divine positioning. God is moving pieces behind the scenes, and some parts of your life must adjust so the greater plan can take shape. Remember, these challenges are a test of alignment. They ask you to remain patient when impatience rises, to maintain faith when fear creeps in, and to trust when certainty feels distant. Each struggle is an opportunity to reaffirm your commitment, to hold fast to the truth that what God has promised cannot fail. Look at your past trials as mirrors of these current challenges. The difficulties you have endured before, the storms you have weathered, the nights of uncertainty you survived, they all trained you for this moment. The hidden challenges now are simply the final crucible, refining your heart and spirit so you can receive the restoration fully, without distraction, hesitation, or compromise. Do not shrink from these challenges. Stand firm, guided by faith, strengthened by the signs you have already seen, and confident in the knowledge that every obstacle is temporary, and every test carries the seed of victory. The path to restoration is rarely smooth, but it is always purposeful, always precise, and always aligned with God's perfect plan for you. Now is the time to prepare, not in hesitation, but with clarity, intention, and faith. The restoration that is coming requires more than passive expectation. It calls for active alignment, a conscious tuning of your spirit to receive what God is placing before you. These instructions are not rules. They are lifeline, sacred steps that position you to fully embrace the return of what has been lost. First, guard your heart. Protect your thoughts from doubt, your emotions from fear, and your spirit from distraction. The enemy often uses uncertainty to cloud judgment, but a heart anchored in God's promises will recognize the truth even in turbulence. Begin each day by affirming your alignment with His plan. Speak it aloud, write it down, internalize it. Let the words of faith saturate your mind so that doubt cannot take root. Second, cultivate stillness. In the quiet moments, God speaks. Set aside time each day to pause, to listen, and to discern. This is not idleness, it is preparation. Just as a soldier sharpens his weapons before battle, you are refining your awareness, tuning your spiritual senses to detect the movements of heaven. Through stillness, the whispers of restoration become clearer, the patterns of opportunity more visible, and your confidence in divine timing stronger. Third, align your actions with your faith. Restoration is not just about receiving it, it is about stepping into the role that God has prepared for you. Every small act of obedience, integrity, and generosity is a signal to heaven that you are ready to carry what is being restored. Be diligent in the small tasks, faithful in the unseen, and consistent in living according to your higher purpose. Each act builds spiritual momentum that prepares the way for your full restoration. Fourth, watch for open doors and step through them with courage. Opportunities may appear unexpected or even daunting, but recognize them as invitations from God. Trust that the path has been cleared and that He walks before you. Hesitation can delay blessing. Boldness, guided by discernment, activates it. Do not fear the unfamiliar, for God equips those He calls, and the steps you take now are steps into alignment with destiny. Fifth, cultivate gratitude and remembrance. Keep a journal or mental record of signs, answered prayers, and small victories. Gratitude is more than emotion. It is a spiritual posture that magnifies favor. When you acknowledge what is already moving in your life, You open your spirit to receive more. Recognition of God's past faithfulness becomes the foundation for trusting the future fulfillment. Finally, strengthen your connections with those who uplift and align with your path. Divine restoration rarely occurs in isolation. Surround yourself with people who encourage faith, who remind you of your purpose, and who reflect the character of God's light. Remove toxic influences, but actively nurture relationships that strengthen spiritual awareness, clarity, and perseverance. Community support and guidance act as conduits for blessing. In every step, remember urgency without fear. The season is moving quickly. The currents are already shifting. Your readiness, your alignment, and your faithfulness determine how fully you will embrace the restoration coming to you. These instructions are not burdens, they are empowerment. Each practice, each act of faith, each moment of intentional stillness is a sacred key unlocking the doors that heaven has already positioned for you. Step forward with resolve, anchored in trust and aligned with purpose. The restoration is prepared. Your spirit is being readied. Your heart is being refined. And as you follow these divine instructions, you will not only witness what is being returned, you will become the vessel through which it flows, fully empowered to carry the abundance, clarity, and purpose God has ordained for you. As you step forward in faith, know this. You are surrounded by a protection that the eyes cannot see, a shield that no force can penetrate, and a presence that never sleeps. The restoration approaching your life is accompanied by divine guardianship, orchestrated by God Himself. You are not walking this path alone. Every step you take, every decision you make, is watched over by unseen hands, guiding, defending, and preparing the way. Picture it, a circle of light encircling you, warm and unwavering, bending around every challenge and deflecting every threat. This light is more than imagery. It is reality in the spiritual realm. God's presence is a fortress, His angels a host stationed to ensure that nothing intended to hinder you can succeed. Where fear once whispered, His assurance now speaks. Where doubt threatened to pull you off course, His truth stands unwavering. Sometimes protection does not look like immediate deliverance from struggle. You may still face storms, tests, and resistance. Yet even within the storm, you are safe. The waves may rise, the winds may howl, but you are upheld. You are not defined by the chaos around you, but by the strength that God has placed within you and the invisible walls that shield you. Every challenge becomes a proving ground, not a place of defeat. You may also notice subtle confirmations of this protection, moments of intuition that guide you away from danger, doors that close just in time, or circumstances that shift to your advantage without explanation. These are the fingerprints of divine care, reminders that nothing can touch you without God permitting it, and even then, He turns every situation toward your ultimate good. Rest in this assurance: God is not distant or indifferent. He is intimately involved in every facet of your journey. His promise is active and alive. He's preparing a path where the lost is restored, the broken is healed, and the delayed is delivered. You are never isolated, never abandoned. The same hand that orchestrates the return of what was lost is the hand that shields you along the way. Take a deep breath and feel it in your spirit, the warmth of protection, the certainty of care, the peace that surpasses understanding. Let it sink in, that every step toward restoration is a step within God's embrace. You are safe, you are guided, and you are loved beyond measure. Stand confidently, for this is no ordinary season. What is coming is deliberate, what is returning is intentional, and what awaits is guarded by the power of heaven itself. Let assurance replace anxiety, let faith override fear, and let the knowledge of divine protection embolden you as you continue to move toward the fullness of your destiny. And now imagine the moment when restoration fully arrives. Not just the return of what was lost, but the emergence of a new, elevated version of your life. You will not simply regain what was once yours, You will step into a reality that is richer, brighter, and far more aligned with your true purpose than you could have ever imagined. This is the transformation that God has been preparing you for, the fulfillment that comes after patience, faith, and endurance. Picture yourself walking through a door bathed in light, the air around you vibrating with clarity and promise. Behind you, the struggles of the past have fallen away like shadows at sunrise. Ahead, every step is guided, intentional, and filled with potential. The restoration touches every area of your life. Relationships heal, opportunities expand, and your spirit vibrates with renewed confidence and strength. You will feel the joy of divine alignment, a profound sense that you are exactly where you were meant to be. Emotionally, the impact will be undeniable. There will be tears of gratitude, laughter that carries the light of relief, and a deep peace that anchors your heart. You will recognize the significance of the waiting, the refining, and the unseen work of God. Every obstacle you endured, every silent prayer you whispered, every season of patience will be seen in this new reality. The restoration will not merely satisfy longing, it will inspire awe, reverence, and an unshakable trust in God's timing and faithfulness. Spiritually, you will sense an elevation. Your faith will feel deeper, your discernment sharper, and your understanding of God's ways more profound. The restoration is a declaration that the universe bends toward the faithful, that divine timing is impeccable, and that your life is a testimony of God's precision and love. What was once hidden is now revealed, and what was once deferred has arrived in fullness. You may also notice a ripple effect in the lives around you. Others will witness the transformation and be drawn to the light of your experience. Your restored life becomes a beacon, a testimony to the power of perseverance, faith, and divine orchestration. People will see not just what is returned to you, but the peace, strength, and wisdom that now accompany it. Your life becomes both blessing and inspiration, proof that restoration is not only possible, it is inevitable for those who remain faithful. Take a moment to envision the tangible manifestations of this fulfillment. Opportunities you once only dreamed of now appear before you, aligned with your skills, purpose, and heart. Relationships deepen, old wounds are healed, and new connections bring collaboration, growth, and joy. Even the small things, daily routines, moments of laughter, simple pleasures take on the glow of purpose and alignment. Every aspect of your life begins to resonate with the fullness of what God has promised. Feel it in your spirit, the weight of waiting lifted, the burden of uncertainty gone, and the clarity of destiny illuminating every step. You have been transformed, not just by what is returned, but by the endurance, faith, and wisdom that brought you to this moment. The fulfillment is holistic, emotional, spiritual, relational, and purposeful. You are ready to walk boldly, empowered by the certainty that God's hand has not only restored, but elevated, refined, and sanctified your life. Now, as you stand at the threshold of this restored season, speak these words into your life. Let them resonate in your spirit, not as empty phrases, but as declarations of truth and alignment with God's promise. I am prepared to receive all that is being restored to me. Every loss of the past is transformed into abundant blessing. I walk in the fullness of God's purpose and timing. Repeat them slowly. Feel each syllable anchoring faith deep within your heart. Let them remind you that the restoration is not abstract, it is personal, precise, and already unfolding in ways your spirit can perceive, even before your eyes see it fully. Understand this: every affirmation you speak is a key unlocking the flow of divine favor into your life. Every declaration reinforces your readiness, fortifies your confidence, and aligns your soul with the orchestration of heaven. Speak them in moments of doubt. Whisper them in moments of silence. Carry them with you as reminders that you are never alone, and that the God who restores also guides, protects, and sustains. And now receive this blessing over your life. May the God of restoration return to you all that was lost, multiplied beyond expectation. May He elevate your purpose, illuminate your path, and grant clarity to every decision. May He surround you with protection, pour favor into your hands, and fill your heart with peace that surpasses understanding. May the waiting seasons transform into moments of celebration, and may every trial be replaced with triumph. You are seen. You are cherished. You are chosen for this moment. What was stolen from you is returning, but not as it was. It returns sanctified, refined, and aligned with divine destiny. Step forward with confidence, for the one who orchestrates heaven itself is walking with you, clearing the path and ensuring that nothing intended for your good will be withheld. Carry this blessing into your days. Speak these affirmations. Anchor your spirit in faith. Look for the signs. Embrace the restoration and rejoice in the transformation that is now flowing toward you. Your story is being rewritten, your purpose is being revealed, and the fullness of what God has prepared for you is arriving with unstoppable certainty.